Hi guys, happy, today's Thursday. My name's Julie. I'm the blogger here behind Julie Measures, and this is my sister Lauren, who I have recruited today to help me knit some cupcakes. And yes, I did say we're going to knit some cupcakes. So my birthday is in February, and I thought it would be really fun. Well, okay, so I saw a cake, and it was like this gorgeous, like 3-tiered thing, and they used fondant over the whole thing to make it look like it was covered in knitting. And I was like, oh, that's fabulous. Do you want to make that for me? Because it's my birthday. I shouldn't have to make my own birthday cake. And Lauren does clay models. Is that the best way to say that?
Yeah.
Okay, so she makes cool stuff, figurines out of Fimo clay. It's kind of a family tradition. My grandmother did clay modeling. She made she made bears. I mean, she made really
Everything.
fantastical things that we would pick up and be like, I don't understand. And miniatures, they were so tiny out of clay. Anyway, I digress. So, I never really got into the clay modeling, but Lauren did. Anyway, so I saw this this cake that was covered in fondant that looked like knitting, and so I immediately sent Lauren the picture and said, could you make this for me for my birthday? And she said,
Okay, sure.
yes. But then I realized that maybe a 3-tiered gigantic cake was a little bit of overkill. I didn't actually need that for my birthday.
Yeah.
So I started kind of brainstorming, how could I take this idea of using fondant and make it look like knitting, but tone it down. I didn't need a giant 3-tiered cake. So I came up with a knit cupcake. There we go, the lighting. So my fondant looks like we twisted it and get it all together, and then it looks like knitting. But instead of covering a giant 3-tiered cake, we're just making, and see, and I used a mitten cookie cutter. So we have, there we go, knit cupcakes. So that's what we're going to do Facebook Live today, is we're going to show you how to make your very own knit cupcakes. Okay. I've really only played with fondant once before, and I tried to make it from scratch for my son. She's laughing because it was hilarious. It was for my son's birthday last year, and he wanted this Minecraft cake, and I'm working on the cake, and my sisters come in, and I like have fondant literally like dripping from my hands, and they're like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know what my life is anymore. It was horrible. So this time, I did not try to make my own fondant. I went to the grocery store and I bought fondant because they sell it at the grocery store. Now, if you have skills, then you can make marshmallow fondant. I've seen friends make it. Theoretically, it does not look that difficult, but I just bought fondant. So, if you've played with clay, you know, as a child and rolled out snakes, that's about the only skills you need to make our knit cupcakes. So if you missed at the beginning, we are making knit cupcakes for my birthday. Okay. So I have a piece. So really, it just comes in like this metal, like this. It comes in a thing, and I put it in a Ziploc baggie because once it's open, I didn't want it to dry out. But we cut off a piece, and I'm going to hand it to Lauren and give her a knife. If you missed it, this is my sister Lauren, who lives close by and actually does have experience with clay modeling. So I dragged her over today to help me with our cake making. Not really cake making, but our cake decorating, our cupcake decorating. So we are trying to, I'm gonna play with the camera a little bit. I want you guys to see kind of what we're doing here. So she's cut out just several pieces. We had a big hunk of fondant, and we just used like a butter knife to cut it into smaller pieces, and then we're going to roll it out. So I said, if you have played with Play-Doh and made little snakes, that's about all we're doing today. Hi, Jamie. I'm so glad you joined us today to watch our cupcake decorating. So I put her in charge of rolling out my things because I started doing these and then I realized that she's way better at it. So, you know, recruit people. Okay, so she's rolling it out. She's being quiet while she's rolling. She did tell me that it is softer than Play-Doh is. So be kind of...
Fimo specifically.
Okay. Then Fimo. Then if you have experience with modeling clay, it is a little bit softer than that. So I'm making these like, give her her piece. So once I have a couple that are the same length, Jamie, an icing that works best in the summer. I'm in Dallas, and I don't know what's best in the summer. I think that buttercream frosting is probably my all-time favorite. I know a lot of people here do like a buttercream frosting and then do fondant over the top, like this smooth fondant, so that you get that real smooth look, but then still can have the frosting underneath. Alright, so once I've got a couple of these, I'm just going to show you like 4. So let's start with these 2. I need 2 pieces at a time, and then I'm going to twist. So this one, with me looking at, I'm going to do this side over this side. And I'm just twisting those 2 pieces of fondant that we rolled out. And just like that. So once I've got 2 pieces rolled out, you can twist them. And then I'll take 2 more pieces that are rolled out. And do I have any fondant recipes? I actually bought my fondant at the store. I have tried a marshmallow fondant recipe, and basically my sisters came over and laughed at me because I made a giant mess. I have seen friends make it, and it doesn't look like it should be that hard, but I was not good at it. So I will try again, but for this I just went and at my grocery store in the cake decorating section, I just picked up some pre-made fondant just to make it simpler. Alright, so when you're twisting the fondant to make our knit piece, you're going to alternate. So this one I twisted one way, and then this next piece I'm going to twist the opposite way. So if I put right over left before, this time I'm going to twist the left piece over the right piece. And I'm just twisting those around. So, Jamie, I did buy this fondant. I would like to try making marshmallow fondant again. It really was just like a package of marshmallows and some water and lots of powdered sugar. I made a giant mess, but I would like to have, I took one cake decorating class that a friend of mine did, so my plan is to have her come show me again how to do that. Okay, so I have the 2 pieces, and then when I put them, so I had 4 ropes, right? I twisted them opposite ways, and then I put them together, and it looks like knit stitches when you lay them next to each other and you've twisted them opposite directions. So then I put those together, and I kind of push them, and then I'm just adding them to this piece that I made with some other our other ropes that we've rolled out. Okay, so once I get a piece like this, I guess I could tell Lauren that she could stop rolling things. But I'm going to do one more. So if I have 4 of these, right, then I'm going to twist this one this way. So this piece is over the bottom piece, and I would twist this one the opposite way. Does that make sense? And I would just twist that all the way down. And I'm kind of pushing it together, and then I'm going to show you another trick to keeping it together in a second. But I would twist this all the way down, and then this one that I'm twisting the opposite way, twist, twist, twist. And if you have someone to come help you do this, it is a bit time consuming, I'm not going to lie. But if you're crazy about knitting like I am, if you've ever been to my website, it's juliemeasures.com, and I do original knitting and crochet patterns, and I'm just kind of obsessed with yarn. So when I saw this idea for a knit, well, the idea I saw was for a knit cake, but I turned it into a knit cupcake because that was a lot simpler. All right, so I have the 2 pieces that are twisted in opposite directions. Then I put them together and kind of push down, pushing those together, and then I can add it to and I'm kind of making sure, so when I push these together and it looks like a knit stitch, like this V stitch as those pieces come together, it looks like a knit stitch, and I'm kind of making sure that that's all pointing the same way when I come for my big piece. So I'm going to grab the camera. Oh, and you get a shot of my hands. Okay, so that's my fondant all nice and together. Okay? Now, put it back on the tripod for a second. Okay. So, once that is, I've got it all laid out, one of the tips I read was to take a paintbrush and some water and dab it over the top. Fondant is like sugary, so the water kind of melds it together, and it helps it not come apart when you want to cut out your pieces. So I would just go along the seams where I put the 2 pieces together, and then also between each twist. So basically every up and down section, I'm just going to run some water. This does make it kind of shiny as you're doing it, so you can see where you've been, where you've put the water, where you still need some water. And then you would want to let it dry for a little bit, ideally, but okay, let's get all this so it all gets, obviously we don't, once we cut it into the shapes, we don't want it to come apart. Hi Mandy, hi Florida, glad you're here. We're making knit fondant cupcakes. So we're taking our fondant, we've rolled it, twisted it, and created kind of a knit, looks like a piece of knit fabric, right? Can you see that? Let's look this up. I made some knit fabric out of fondant. You could also do this same technique with clay if you just wanted to create some fun clay shapes that look like knitting. Alright, so then I picked this mitten cookie cutter because I thought if it looks like knitting, then a mitten would be really fun. And then you can just lay it on top and push down and cut out your mitten, your fondant knit mitten, right? So I have a few that we did a little bit earlier, so they're a little more dry. so you can see. Isn't that adorable? So it's just fondant. That's it. We made an edible knit mitten. Edible. Alright, so I went to the store and got some cupcakes because I'm all about simplicity. So here's our cupcakes. And because it's after Valentine's Day, I have Valentine's Day cupcakes because that's what they had at the store. So then, once my mitten is finished, I can just stick him on top of my cupcake. Now, he's still not quite firm, so I'm going to use some toothpicks back behind the fondant for it to kind of lean against so that it stands up the way that I want it to. So, there is my knit cupcake, y'all. If you have a knitter in your life who's having a birthday or any day and needs a knit cupcake, oh my gosh, how cute is that? My sister thinks I'm a little bit crazy, but
no, it's super adorable.
She understands my love of knitting after all these years. So, knit cupcakes. Let's do another one. I've got another mitten over here who's ready. So, look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I just kind of set it, you know, in the frosting. Of course, you could make this from scratch. I do often make things from scratch. I just didn't for my own birthday. But I thought this was so fun. Now, you could do the same technique to make the knit fondant fabric, if you will. This, right? And like cover a sheet cake, a round cake. Yeah, so this one has been hardening for a while, so it's fine. It stands up. But after you make it, yeah, after you've cut out the mittens, let them harden. But I just wanted you to see a finished one because it's so cute. So, if you want to make your own knit cupcakes, you'll be able to find this on my website in a little bit, juliemeasures.com, and yeah, so you can combine your love of yarn and knitting all in one thing. So, happy knitting. Enjoy your sweet treats. And we'll see you on another live video real soon. Thanks. Bye, guys.